Welcome into the Reb Zone. The highlight of the night at the Thomas & Mack was the Las Vegas native Nick Walters knocking down his first three at UNLV. The crowd goes wild for the local Rebel. UNLV dominates Carroll College 87-51. Sticking with hoops, the Lady Rebels scored 107 points in their conference opener on Saturday against Utah State. The 11-1 Lady Rebels were rolling with their veteran center Desiree Young, and their new pieces were making an impact. Freshman guard Amarachi Kimson getting it done on both ends on Saturday. We'll hear more from the Lady Rebels tonight on the Reb Zone. And hey, things were chippy all night long between Kansas and UNLV in the Rebels' first bowl game in 10 seasons. We have highlights and post-game reaction from the Guaranteed Rate Bowl in Phoenix, Arizona. The Reb Zone on New Year's Eve starts right now with Ricky White's touchdown celebration. Happy New Year, Las Vegas. 2023 has been a booming year in the sports capital of the world. We watched the Lady Rebels clinch back-to-back Mountain West titles, the Aces win back-to-back WNBA titles, and the Golden Knights winning their first Stanley Cup championship, and UNLV football advancing to their first Mountain West title championship with first-year head coach Barry Odom, and faced Kansas in their first bowl game in 10 seasons. To sum it up, a really exciting year in our city, and it's only going to get better in 2024. Well, we got a lot on tap tonight on the Reb Zone, spending the week with UNLV hoops and UNLV football in Phoenix, Arizona. But first, let's head out to the Thomas & Mack, where we watched another dominating performance by the UNLV Rebels. The Runnin Rebels back in action at the Thomas & Mack after taking a 4-day holiday break. The Boone brothers, Caleb Boone and Keelan Boone, back and better than ever, coming off a dominating 74-56 win over Hofstra. The Runnin Rebels didn't miss a beat over the holiday break. Welcome to the New Year's Eve dunk show. Here's one of 5 dunks for the Scarlet and Gray tonight. UNLV jumps in front over Carroll College 11-9. The Rebs forced 25 turnovers tonight. Caleb Boone sends it over to Luis Rodriguez. Back to Boone for the slam. The Thomas & Mack goes wild. UNLV up 16-9 over Carroll College. It was one turnover after another for the Fighting Saints as Luis Rodriguez goes up for the big dunk. The Rebels are rolling in the first half, extending their lead 23-9. Talk about UNLV getting back to full strength. Here's Shane Noel knocking down his first 3-point bucket of the season. Noel coming off an ankle injury, helping his team get the big dub tonight. Rebels dominating at the half, 42-20 over College. The Rebs keep fighting on both ends. Caleb Boone misses his floater. Isaiah Cottrell tries to clean it up, but Boone comes flying in for the dunk. Boone, just a highlight reel on New Year's Eve. Rebels up 32 over the Fighting Saints. Kevin Kruger pulls his starters and gives the freshman some minutes. Brooklyn Hicks, the freshman from Seattle, knocks down his first 3 of the night. And the Rebels knocked down 10 threes against Carroll College. But the highlight of the night was the Las Vegas native Nick Walters all alone in the corner, sinking his first 3-point bucket as UNLV and the Thomas & Mack was rocking today on New Year's Eve. UNLV dominates Carroll College 87-51, clinching back-to-back blowout wins at the Thomas & Mack. The Runnin Rebels tell me, hey, they didn't miss a beat coming off the Christmas break.
We have an edge, It gets to the point in the year where everybody just gets tired and need a break and they need a refresher. Everybody came back. We was excited. We had that energy, that excitement to be back. And we've been dealing with the coaching by Krug and BP and everybody. They're trying to keep us on the edge. They want us to be better, and we expect better for ourselves this second part of the season. So that's all we're trying to do, focus on.
We just locked into what we had to do. It just goes back to Krug telling us to, establish our identity. Just keeping the ball in front. It takes, the load off of those guys, but obviously lapses are going to happen. We're going to get beat, and so they come and help us. So tonight we played together. We played as a team, and we was able to be efficient on the defense end.
What did you see from your guys coming off the holiday break tonight?
Yeah, I thought a little bit of a slow start, but we just want to cement our identity. We talk a lot about with the guys about what do we want to look like on February 1. How can we get better over the next 4 weeks and be our best on February 1, just continuing to progress. And I thought the last couple games we've just done a really good job guarding the ball, and that's, I think, the first piece of doing that.
Caleb talked about the defensive edge he's seeing in practice right now. A season-high 10 blocks by your guys tonight. What energy did you see on defense from your team?
Yeah, I mean, well, it starts in practice. You know, it's the intent, it's the approach, and guys are competing every day in practice guarding the ball. And I thought the blocks kind of showed that they were willing to help each other if there was a situation where they needed help. And that's great. That's great as a team when you got guys rotating and playing for each other to ultimately just get stops.
Speaking of moving the ball, DJ Thomas, a career-high 10 assists tonight. Only 1 point scored by DJ, but talk about him being a factor out here tonight.
Just a great facilitator, great point guard. You know, it's a night where, you know, sharing the ball was great for him, and he got a lot of guys involved. And yeah, only 1 point, but you know, I think he's happy with the win, 10 assists, being a part of the win, and contributing to it. And he'll be ready to get out there and compete tomorrow in practice.
Back-to-back dominating wins. What do you want to see from your guys against Bethesda on Tuesday?
Just the intent. You know, we talk again. We just talk about our identity. You know, what do we want people to look at us and talk about? And what do we want people to say about us? And you know, we want people to say we guard the ball, that we share it, that we run hard, that we play hard, and that's just another game. And that'll continue on to San Diego State. That'll continue on into conference as well. As when those teams leave the gym, you know, what are they saying about us?
Coach, we're wrapping up the Reb Zone tonight with the best thing that has happened to you in 2023. What is that, Coach?
Ooh, the best thing, probably just another year here. Just another year here, and just enjoying every day of it, and looking forward to 24.
All right, the Runnin Rebels coming off 2 dominating wins against Hofstra and Carroll College. Up next for the Runnin Rebels, a 1 p.m. tip-off at the Cox Pavilion on Tuesday when UNLV hosts Bethesda, who are 0-13 this season. UNLV looking to clinch one more non-conference win before they open up conference play on the road this Saturday at 12 p.m. in San Diego, going up to face the Aztecs for a noon p.m. tip-off in San Diego. Coming up next, we're heading out to the Cox Pavilion. Rebel Nation showed up for the back-to-back Mountain West champs on the quest for a three-peat this season, already off to a dominating start in conference play. We'll have highlights and post-game reaction from the Lady Rebels' big win over Utah State. And hey, keep it here on the Reb Zone. We're breaking down UNLV's 49-36 loss to Kansas in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl that ended in a massive fight. Both sidelines emptied out over to the 50-yard line after the final whistle. We'll break down the game and hear from UNLV football tonight on the Reb Zone. We'll be right back.
Desiree Young.
Getting close to double-double numbers.
And this time, Young's going to try for a 3-ball and knocks it down.
Welcome into the Reb Zone. The Las Vegas native Desiree Young almost surpassed her career-high 32 points scored earlier this season on the road at Oklahoma. Young dropped 31 points against Utah State as the Lady Rebels scored 107 points in their conference opener against Utah State. The Lady Rebels have already defeated 2 Power 5 programs this season, Oklahoma and Arizona earlier this year, and are starting conference play with a dominating win over the Aggies. The Lady Rebels went undefeated in conference play last season and start Mountain West play this year 1-0. Let's check out the highlights at the Cox Pavilion. UNLV hosting Utah State on a national broadcast. The Lady Rebels went undefeated in conference play last season and are off to a great start in Mountain West play. Alyssa Durazo-Frescas with a long pass over to Desiree Young. The Rebels jump in front 9-4. Vegas, keep your eye on the freshman guard, number 33, Amarachi Kimpson, who is getting it done on both ends of the court. The Rebs come out for the second quarter playing great defense. Alyssa Brown intercepts the Aggies pass, and Durazo-Frescas would pick it up the loose ball and finish on the other end for 2. Ashley Scoggin was bringing the heat from deep in the first half, knocking down 3 first-half threes. UNLV runs into the locker room with a dominating 58-33 lead over the Aggies at the half. Third quarter, the freshman Amarachi Kimpson is cruising. Kimpson grabs the rebound and takes it the other way, stopping for the beautiful floater. The Lady Rebels are dominating the Aggies 82-55 after 3. Fourth quarter, here comes Desiree Young from downtown. The senior scored 31 points today against the Aggies, almost breaking her career-high 32-point performance against OU earlier this season. Lindy LaRocque pulls her starters out, and the backups are making a splash in conference opener corner. Macy Spencer sends it down to Nneka Obiazor for 2. UNLV dominates Utah State 107-68.
We knew obviously opening conference we wanted to make a statement for ourselves and for the rest of the conference that we're here, we're ready to play, we're better than ever, and we're going to stay disciplined and do the right thing. So really proud of our group, and credit Utah State. They're a good team. They fought really hard, but I was really proud of how we responded to everything that they threw at us.
I mean, this is our first game back on our home court and the first game of conference, so I was super, excited to play and just excited to show what our team can do.
All right, up next for the Lady Rebels, a noon game on Saturday when UNLV travels to Colorado State at 12 p.m. The Rams have been rolling this season 9-3 overall as UNLV is going to get ready to go up against the reigning Mountain West Player of the Year, McKenna Hofstra, who dropped 34 points against the Aztecs on Saturday in their 74-71 loss. Here's more from the Lady Rebels on their week-long preparation for the Rams.
Well, the first thing is we get to have a couple of days to continue to improve and work on us, which is precious time during the middle of the year. So we're going to focus on that first, and then, midweek we're going to turn our focus to preparing for Colorado State. An electric team, frankly. McKenna Hofstra, the returning, Player of the Year in the league, and we know what she's capable of. So we've got to use this extra time to put a great game plan together and prepare our team so we can be successful on the road.
I mean, who knows? We have so much, in our bag, and super excited to just see how we're going to, defend them.
The Lady Rebels went undefeated in conference play last season. So far, 1-0 in conference play, looking to go 2-0 on the road this Saturday when they travel to Fort Collins. Well, coming up next, we're breaking down UNLV's 49-36 loss to Kansas in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. A lot of highlights to check out on both sides of the ball from the Rebels. The UNLV falls short in their first bowl game appearance in 10 seasons. We'll hear more from head coach Barry Odom and the players on what was accomplished this season and the bright future ahead of them. Welcome back to the Reb Zone. FOX5 was the only broadcast outlet on the road with UNLV football in Phoenix, Arizona to watch the Rebels take on Kansas in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. This bowl game rolled out the red carpet for UNLV football and their family, ensuring that everyone had a great weekend in Phoenix and spent a great Christmas together on the road. A big thank you to the Guaranteed Rate Bowl for the excellent hospitality. Well, let's check out the highlights from Tuesday night's matchup between Kansas and UNLV at Chase Field in downtown Phoenix. Starts with a moment of silence for the 3 lives lost in the UNLV campus shooting on December 6th, a community still healing from the tragedy. Well, Barry Odom leads the Rebels out the tunnel for their first bowl game in a decade, and UNLV's go-go offense is going on the first possession. Jacob DeJesus breaks free for an 18-yard gain on the first play from scrimmage. UNLV down 2 running backs in the bowl game, so DeJesus turns it up a notch. The Rebels' opening drive would end with Vincent Davis Jr. slipping a defender and cutting to the outside. The Rebels start fast and jump on the board first in the Guaranteed Rate Bowl. Later in the first, Kansas responds. Jason Bean, short pass to Luke Grimm on the outside. Grimm into the end zone for the Jayhawks' first score of the game. We're tied up at 7. Second quarter, UNLV ball. A bad snap leads to a bad throw. Jaden Mayava trying to connect with Ricky White, and it's picked off by Kobe Bryant. The Rebels' turnover would result in another KU touchdown. UNLV still looking to put points on the board. Jose Pisano comes out to kick a 52-yarder. Pisano way short, and UNLV trails Kansas 14-7. Next drive, Kansas's offense is rolling. Jason Bean with a deep shot to the end zone, and Lawrence Arnold just mossed Cameron Oliver. Kansas extends their lead 21-7, and the Jayhawks keep clawing at the Rebels. Devin Neal powers his way over the goal line for KU's 4th touchdown of the first half. Jose Pisano would close out the first half, icing a 40-yard kick, and this one is good. The Rebels run into the locker room trailing Kansas 28-10 at the half. Jayhawks get the ball back to start the second half, and here come the Rebels. Bean rolls right, throws his first pick of the night into the hands of none other than Cameron Oliver. Massive spark for the Rebels. The takeaway would result in a Rebel touchdown. Jaden Mayava rolls right, connects over the middle to Shelton Zion in the end zone, and UNLV trails KU 28-17. And the Rebels are not done. Jaden Mayava throws up a 37-yard dime to Ricky White, and UNLV is back in this ball game, trailing the Jayhawks 28-24. Jason Bean and his Jayhawks scratch back at UNLV. Bean with a deep shot to a wide-open Arnold for his second score of the game. Kansas extends their lead 35-24. But the Rebels fight back. They're not done. Jacob DeJesus cuts to the outside and scores UNLV's 39th rushing touchdown this season, a single-season record. Jason Bean lights it up down the stretch of this game, throwing a guaranteed Rate Bowl record. 6 touchdowns in this game, 3 to Grimm and 3 to Arnold, as Kansas extends their lead 42-30 over UNLV. But the Rebels aren't going down without a fight. They respond right back. How about Seneca McKee with this massive catch on 4th down? McKee turns on the Jets for the 50-yard score. UNLV not going out without a fight, quite literally, as tempers flare after the final whistle. UNLV falls to Kansas 49-36 and ends in a chippy fight at the 50-yard line. Here's more from the Rebels post-game in Phoenix.
We set out to win a championship. We didn't get that done. I thought we got better each week. I thought our progress that the program made was substantial in the ways that where we started back when we got the job and started working together. Where we'll go from here is the goal is to compete and win championships. So we start back school the 3rd week in January. Obviously, recruiting will be hot and heavy between now and then. And you start the rebuild of the next team, and every team's going to look different. Just like this team, as the course of the year went on, we, changed who was making plays, who was lined up at different spots, and now you build the next team through recruiting and development of the roster that you have.
Definitely won this game. We won the 10-win season, so, it's hard, coming off this loss. So we definitely go bounce back. We go put in the work that we need to put in, and you go see the better change next year.
Yeah, I would say the same thing. It's right back to work. No excuses. The last 3 games weren't what we wanted, and we got to fix the things that we need to fix. But it's just back to work.
Really a great first year with Barry Odom here at UNLV. It was a great Reb Zone with him in studio. Looking forward to see him building the program at UNLV, as he has already signed 7 local players to next year's rosters, as he is heavy recruiting here in Las Vegas. Well, it's been a fun year here in the 702. Luis Rodriguez is having some fun this season, feeling good after dominating Hofstra last week. The Runnin Rebels are rolling, winning 2 straight, and have already knocked off a top 10 team this season. We'll hear more from the Runnin Rebels on their 2023 year and what they want to accomplish in 2024. The Reb Zone New Year's Eve edition continues after the break. Happy New Year, Las Vegas. Chasing championships has become the standard at UNLV this season. Lindy LaRocque and her Lady Rebels clinched back-to-back Mountain West titles this year and played in their 2nd straight NCAA tournament, falling to Michigan in the first round at LSU. The 11-1 Lady Rebels are on a mission to three-peat this year and win their 3rd straight Mountain West championship. And the Runnin Rebels are coming together before conference play begins with back-to-back dominating wins over Hofstra and Carroll College. UNLV knocked off 8th-ranked Creighton 79-64 earlier this season and are ready to come out fighting against the Aztecs this Saturday in San Diego. And Barry Odom has had a huge first year here at UNLV, leading the Rebels to 9 wins for the first time since 1984 and leading the Rebels to their first Mountain West championship game in program history. The Rebels starting quarterback Jaden Mayava and star receiver Ricky White have told the media they are returning for the 2024 season, as the Rebels are just getting started with Barry Odom here in Las Vegas. And for the Runnin Rebels, I asked them, hey, what was their best part of the 2023 year?
I'd probably say my decision to come back. I was on the edge about whether I wanted to come back to UNLV or not. And, Krug and those guys really trusted in me and just kind of laid out the plan for me to come back. And so, I trust those guys. I love those guys. So I'll probably say that was the highlight of my year, being able to come back to UNLV.
I would say my highlight is being able and being blessed to come to UNLV. Everybody asks me all the time what was the reason why I wanted to leave Oklahoma State. I just felt like it was a new part of my life, a new chapter there that I needed to open. And Krug and Coach Coop BP, they just opened up this program with open arms. It was like, come join us. And I had great guys like Webb, Baloo, Ice here to help me on my visit. So then I just loved it.
Great to hear the Runnin Rebels really open up to me tonight about the best part of their 2023 years. 5 fifth-year seniors on this UNLV roster, and they're all coming together before conference play begins this Saturday on the road against San Diego State. Well, I guess it's my turn to share the best part of the 2023 year, which really has been here on the Reb Zone, but it also has been at home with my mom, taking care of my mom here in Las Vegas. We have been in and out of the hospital this year, battling different illnesses, but it was so great to take her to her first UNLV football game against San Jose State at Allegiant Stadium. She loved hanging out with Rebel Nation, and she looks forward to going to more games. So here, cheers to a 2024 healthy, happy year here in Las Vegas. It has been an honor to be the host here on the Reb Zone. The final show of 2023, going out with a bang. Have a fun and safe New Year's Eve, Las Vegas. We'll see you next Sunday on the Reb Zone.